Good afternoon, folks. It's been quite a while since I last did a video, mostly due to work and hobbies taking precedence. Not that I haven't been doing wargaming. I've still go down the club and I'm still painting and doing figures and such and having a few games, but not as much as I have done previously. So with everything that's going on at the moment with the COVID-19, I've got some extra time on my hands now. I am still working, but I find myself obviously locked down at weekends and evenings, so ideal time to do some more with the hobby. So I thought I'd start off with doing a quick review on this box set here. It's quite an old box set by Perry, which is the American Civil War Cavalry. It's 12 mounted figures. I think this was one of the original boxes that Perry did, plastics. So it's quite old now, but I think it's worth a review because it's still, I don't believe that anyone else doing American Civil War Cavalry plastic. I might be wrong, but I don't think there is. So we'll have a quick look. It's, like I say, it's 12 figures. They're 12 mounted figures. It's, like I say, it is one of the earlier ones, so I think over the last few years the plastics industry, well, for wargaming, has definitely improved. So this hasn't got a lot of options with it. I have actually already painted one of these box sets, which is another reason why I wanted to do this review. So rather than just seeing what you get in the box, you can see what a painted figure would look like. I'm actually going to be using them for early Plains War, because these are the American Civil War, and I believe the Plains War was from around 1840 to 1880, 1890. So you can kind of get away with it, particularly for the early part of the war, and that's what I'm going to be using them for. So I suppose let's have a look at the actual box set itself. Nice cover art. You can see there some Union cavalry advancing. I prefer the Confederates myself, but there is options obviously to make Confederate cavalry. You can see on the back the nice little thing there. I'm just going to move my mouse out of the way because my YouTube channel's just been kicking off in the background. Right, there we go. So yeah, so you can see there's some colour guides there, and just a little show. I think that's basically to show you that although they all come with the sword at their sides, you can snip the bask off the sword, so you can have it out of the sheath sort of thing in the hand, because there's an option to have pistols or swords. Okay, so doing this one-handed again. We'll invest in a stand one for the camera, or the phone I should say. So let's have a quick look. So the first thing you get, zoom out a little bit there. Now, like I say, this is one of the first sets they did. So what they did is they actually made some rules for it as well. I don't think the rules, these rules come in maybe later sets. I'm not so sure. They're mostly flag sheets in colour and diagrams of uniforms that you can do. See, there's a couple of flags, not made. They had only Gideons anyway, so we're not talking big flags. So you can see there's the American ones. Sorry, the American ones. The Union ones and the Confederate ones, and just some simple cavalry rules if you wanted to use them. Though most people are probably going to be buying these with other rules in mind, such as black powder. There's actually two pages of rules there. It says American Civil War Wargame Rules Cavalry, so I haven't read through it, but I presume it's just for the cavalry side of it. I believe maybe their original infantry box set had the rules for the infantry. Okay, so that's the only sheet you get in there, and then you get as is standard pretty much now with plastic sets. Well, particularly the Perry ones, you get the bases, which is always handy, because even if you don't use these bases and you prefer your own bases, whether these are not the right size or whatever, it's always handy to have bases, isn't it? And then you get 3 sprues of actual cavalry themselves. Each sprue is the same. I'll try and just move those out of the way so we get a bit of white background rather than me trying to do it against the computer screen. Hopefully you can see that a bit better. So we got there, we got 4 horses and men on each one. Like I say, these were some of the original plastic box sets that were first pushed out, so there isn't a great deal of options. You've got some options with arms and hats, so you have the kepi or the slouched hat, or you can have, there we go, sword arms or pistol arms. So that's a bugler actually, or bugle I should say. And there you can see at the top right there's a pistol arm. Yeah, the detailing's nice, not too much, but I suppose you wouldn't expect, you know, we're not talking about loads of lace and that you would get with Napoleonics. This is you know, American Civil War cavalry, so it's quite basic, and because it's quite basic, it suits well for the what arm you're going to be using it for. So it's 3 sprues, 4 cavalry on each sprue, and I'll show you what they look like, or as I've done them as early Plains War over here. Right, so this is what I'm using them for. So this is the first box set that I got. So this is the 12 mounted figures. The Indian figures that you can see there are actually the warlords, wood Indians from their I'm trying to think what range it is now. It's basically the Canada, North America Indians, with just a bit of green stuff too, obviously, because you know, their hairstyles are different. So I think the actual models themselves, they are quite nice. Like I said, they are some of the early stuff, as in the early plastics, and the plastics have improved even more now. But I think these are still painted up very nice, and I think as a unit of 12 figures, I wouldn't say they're in full headlong charge, more of a trot, the horses. Well, they paint up nice, and let's say I've got another box that I'm going to paint up for another unit, and hopefully you know, in a few months or so, be able to do a battle report on something a bit different for myself, which will be the Plains War. Maybe looking at, you know, a bit later in the Plains War, and do Little Bighorn with Reno's advance on, well, charge, stop, retreat, and Custer's situation as two separate games. I know. Anyway, yeah, so that's it really. Just hopefully I'll be doing some more videos in the future. Like I said, I've got a lot more time on my hands now, and I'll contribute to the community a bit more. Okay, thanks for now.